go. Alrighty. It looks like we are live. Just going to go and set things up here and then we can get going. I sound a little stuffy in my head. I have a slight cold, I think. It just hopefully it's not going to get any worse over time. Let's see if I have sound. Okay? Okay. All right. Let's share this puppy around. Discord and Twitter. Not that I have a big fan base, but you know, it is there. Facebook. Well, it seems, I'm going to go over to cringing in unison too. Let's see, no, I'm not going to post it there. People are following me, they can deal with it. Hey, Grampy! I know, you had this look on your face. It was just like, you just lit up. It was so fun. I just loved it. That was fantastic. I'm just stuffier today, so I haven't gotten sick yet, but I don't put it past myself to get sick quickly. Did you see that YouTube is now finally doing their thing where they're removing videos they deem bullying? Because one of the Amberlynn Reed reaction channels got some of their videos removed. That was fun. I wish I could have stayed longer, but I was having so much issues just trying to feel like I was myself. It was like, yeah, I'm kind of just holding on the reaction stuff and see where the waters flow with YouTube. Oh crap. No. They're licking Bob Ross on camera. No. I forgot about the straws and the carbonated stuff. That doesn't always work so well. I'm going to shove this up my nose one of these days, I'm sure. Yeah, so, yep, I was just licking Bob Ross on camera. I wonder how he feels about that. There. Had to finish. Yeah, so we're going to be fueled by Bob Ross, positive energy. I really need it because I have to work all night too, so. Oh, I'm bad. I'm really, really bad. Oh, it's all over me too. Didn't get it on my clothes, which is good. Why I decided I have to wear my work pants. Not that you guys, well, yeah, I have a My Little Pony shirt on. But these were pants I modified so there's lace underneath and stuff. And yeah, why I decided I was going to wear these painting, I don't know. But there's already paint spots on them and stuff because that's what they're done to look like paint spatter. So, what's a little more paint? But, yeah, YouTube's kind of being a stinker. And now I wanted to ask you, Grampy, about your logo. You're looking at an elderly lobster, or are you looking at just something incorporating Grampy lobster into it, or an older lobster? Oh, fun. So no naughty pinup lobsters. I don't know. I haven't seen any pinup ones that I could kind of get a feel for how people anthropomorphize lobsters like that. But I'm gonna figure out something. It'll have to be after Christmas because I've got an order for a bunch of hemp bracelets. I have like 30 of them to make or something, and I gotta try and these were bottles that somebody had paid a lot of money for, that the artist didn't seal the paint in very well. Plus, they had these in the dishwasher, so all the paint is chipping off. So it looks like they used glass paint on this, though, so I think the problem was they put it in the dishwasher mainly. But I have to strip all this paint off with turpentine and a razor blade and then redo those and wrap Christmas presents. Yay! I hate wrapping Christmas presents. It's like the worst thing. Yeah, I just figured I'd try to get myself going. Yeah, gift bags are like my saving grace. My sister-in-law does these incredibly beautiful packages. I mean, she gets the fancy papers. She does all these extravagant ribbons and everything. Everything's just beautiful and perfectly mitered corners and everything else. And you look at mine and it's a train wreck. Because but yet I'll make books. I deal with papers a lot and stuff, but I just absolutely hate wrapping presents, and I always have, and it used to frustrate my mom to no end. Yep, that's what it is. The presents are begging to get out of the package, like, oh God, please no. Oh, Fun Brigade CFO, welcome. Yes, yeah, it's like the packages go, the thing inside's go, no, let me out. You can use that too, Grampy, if you need that clip. Let me out. Got my permission. You got my permission to use anything you want too from my channel. I don't care. I did take some of my older reaction stuff and put it on private just because I didn't feel like dealing with it anymore. Hubby brought up a really good point that, my business name is associated with a lot of stuff, and especially on my YouTube channel, and it's like, do I want my business name to be in with everything, Oh, hi, Adam. Well, let's see, yeah, you did update your picture. It looks different. Yeah, so some of the stuff anyway has gone to private just because of that effect. I didn't want to have it with too involved with my business. And yeah, I suppose with me being trying to be a little nicer than I have been too, although, boy, the frustration in some of these people that I've been seeing on YouTube, it just, yeah, we've had things like there's this Aga in America, this Russian woman who came over to the U.S. and is feeding her toddlers a raw vegan diet, and the one looks like he's starved, like he came from Ethiopia. I mean, we're talking the big bloated belly and and the skinny legs. He can't even walk. I mean, just bad. And people are clamoring to call CPS, and it's like, but the hard part I see with it is unless you're right there to see the kids in person, it's really, really freaking hard to have enough evidence to have anything to stick. And I mean, if I saw them in the store and saw those signs, then yeah, I could probably call if I know where the person is and things like that. But to just do it online, um, first off, to know you have the right person in the first place, and then are there other medical issues aside that the parent is not talking about on the video, things like that. And what am I not seeing that's going on in the background? And that was the case with Helton too. There was stuff going on that I didn't know about. Um, and because, well, when I started talking to him, I didn't, it was just another person that seemed interesting on the internet. I didn't know his background. And so I guess, like, even with Amberlynn Reed this last week, her dog ended up being in a butt ton of pain, and I was pissed off because she's like, well, there's no 24-hour vet available. So she took her friends out to Chili's to go eat supper nearby the veterinary office that had a 24-hour vet, and left the dog at home in pain and didn't do anything about it. She went to Walmart and bought treats for the dog. And that had me really set off. Well, I guess a bunch of people had called 911 on it. And so animal control had showed up at her house yesterday or something like that. Yeah, potato. Cut a potato in half. And so she ended up doing a video about CPS coming out and how it's wasted people's time and stuff, and the dog seemed to be better today, so it might be a pulled muscle. It's like, okay, diagnose Lynn Reed here, um eh, but is, like, with CPS and stuff, like, Kentucky is so darn poor that even if the kids do end up in foster care, there are a lot of reports of kids getting abused. And in the foster system, it's really bad. Certain states are really, really horrible, and it's like, at that point they have to balance what's better for the child and what isn't. And in the case of the animal too, animal mistreatment is not, it's a misdemeanor, and then can they really turn around and say, okay, she didn't take the dog to the vet, CPS shows up and the dog's showing no signs of problems? They're not a vet. They can't go and do tests right there and say, well, this dog has this and it's not being treated, and on and on. So it's like, where do you draw the line on this? And so sometimes I think some of it on YouTube is almost like opening up to swatting or something, where they just call people and say there's something bad going on and get the SWAT teams going into the person's house half the country away, type thing. Yeah, it is a matter of the whole story. And so I wanted to put that out there, and I'm probably going to do a separate video on it too, because this one with Aga in America is, the kids look really, really rough. I am not a fan of raw veganism at all. I think it's ridiculous. Um, and not just because my personal experience with it. I did try it for a while to lose some weight, and yeah, I lost weight. I got sicker than a dog, and now I can't even stand to eat raw foods that often, because it's just like, it feels like knives in my mouth. Um, of course, now I can't even handle plant milks. It feels like I'm drinking snot or something. It's just nasty, and so I went back to drinking goat's milk, and I handle that better than cow's milk. But it's like, yeah, yeah, it's a matter of, I just have to eat less and I have to exercise more. And I think re-injuring my shoulder and my wrist kind of set me back both emotionally and not being able to work out. So that kind of did me in. Yeah, yeah, it's so hard with him. Um and I have no ill will towards him or anything like that. He I think he genuinely believes everything he says. And my ex was the same way, and but what we don't see behind the camera is he like my ex is, where there's that mean streak. um we really don't know off camera what's going on, and again, it's that whole picture going on. I'm really, really hoping that they're monitoring him. You'd think after CPS being out 6 times that they are monitoring what he's doing. And I had advised him when they took his kids this last time that, you need to do exactly what they tell you to do. And, just do it. Whatever they tell you to get your kids back, you do it and you stick to it. And, we saw kind of where all of that went. It was suddenly blaming everybody else and not blaming himself. And that's part of whatever is mentally going on with him. I don't think he can see it. That is one of the traits of some narcissistic personalities, where they can't see that they're causing problems. And I think that's where he's at. But whatever else is going on in there too, he believes, he's got such paranoia towards everybody. And the whole thing is really just sad overall. I think, because there is no recourse for him. All I can hope is that his kids get the best treatment possible, and that he's at least being a decent dad. Yeah, that's exactly it. It has snowballed to such a bad state that it isn't a matter of whose fault it is. And so my hope is that he genuinely does love his kids, and he is doing the best for his kids that he thinks is possible. Not everybody's a good parent. And so I'm just hoping that he's doing what he thinks is the best thing possible, and that he's being genuine with his kids. And, that's all we can do. And yeah, if he is doing cruelty or whatever, I can hope he gets caught. And that's with anybody. He has no parenting skills. I don't think he learned any parenting skills. Um, it's, what did he learn from his mother? Is what I gotta say there. Um, that couldn't have been a good environment. Just no way. And some people don't break that cycle of abuse. I was lucky to be able to break it, but he hasn't. He hasn't had the option of seeing anything different, I don't think. And that's not excusing some of the stuff that he has done on camera, but it's just like, I think YouTube has made it a heck of a lot worse in his situation. Same thing with Amber Lynn, same thing with these other people, these mukbangers that are, blowing up to huge proportions physically, and YouTube just allows it. You know, at that point, social media has become a curse, and exacerbated these behaviors that are bad behaviors in the first place, that are negative behaviors, and I think that's what he's trapped in as well. It's kind of helped accelerate the problem. Brownie mukbangs. Yes. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. And, if he ever comes here to this channel, I harbor no ill will towards him. I'm hoping he realizes and sees what he's doing and becomes a better parent, and takes whatever help's offered him to become a better parent. So we'll see, especially with Jerry and stuff, child with autism, it sounds as severe as Jerry's is. That's hard to deal with, but I have been with parents that are really bad. Hey, Swag Daddy, welcome aboard. Yeah, I'm going to be painting pretty soon here, so just sitting here yapping with everybody. Yeah, my computer's right here, so I'm watching the live chat there. Oh, yeah, yeah, Grampy, for sure. Yeah, I'm wondering what all... Hi, Melissa. I'm wondering what all went on. We don't know. We're not going to know what went on. And, yeah, there's obviously some guilt or something going on there that she's paying for everything, there's a whole drama thing going on there that we're not aware of. And so I don't know. When she dies, who knows? No, definitely not. Helton didn't happen in a vacuum. Oh, thank you, Swag Daddy. And I'm sorry for the absolutely runny nose here. I've got paper towel here, but I've been having allergies and probably a cold on top of it. Nothing's settled in my chest yet, so I figured get this done while I can. Which is, Grampy just had a birthday, so I was in his live stream and sang happy birthday to him, and figured I'd do that before I, because Grampy's heard me when I get sick. I sound like I've been smoking for 40 years when I get sick, because I have reactive airway disease and I'm asthmatic, so everything goes right to my chest, and it just... I've had coughing from Hades, on various live streams, Shadow Heathens, Steve McRae. I mean, I've done some bad coughing fits over the years. I thought Jade West was going to reach through the computer one time and try to pat me on the back to get the coughing fit to stop. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, Adam. So, first thing I wanted to show you guys is I got the last resin layer put in. And so you can see the shine there. So what I got to do is get a hanger hammered into the back. And then I'm going to take some of my E6000, which is a really good jewelry industrial adhesive, actually. Hi, Doc Zayas. Welcome. I'm going to do that sand around this, and I have to dig out. I have some small shells. I might even do a pattern of shells and cowrie shells on this. Oh, it was a conspiracy, Grampy. You know it. But yeah, this thing, I'm so happy with this thing. And the top layer came out. I really haven't looked at it. I'm glad. He's creeped me out for the longest time because Unision going and having young girls go and send him photos of themselves in their underwear so he could evaluate their bodies and all of this stuff. It's like, we did not know this was a problem. The guy is disgusting, and I'm glad he's getting in trouble for it. It's about time. Um, of course, then we've got Shani and several others riding on the whole Unision, or trying to ride on it. Yeah, he's been disgusting this whole time. Nothing is a surprise on the whole thing. Um, it's about time he gets nailed for it. And again, again, it's like social media gave him a platform where how many millions of photos did he receive? Some of them underwear photos from girls as young as 10 years old. What the heck? And then the bigger problem here, too, is that those children can get prosecuted for sending child porn, even though it's them. So he's actually set these kids up for a fall too, because once they've done that, they're on the sex registry. Their lives are wrecked. And so he's done so much damage. It's just been unbelievable. So, yeah, I hope they throw the book at him. He needs to be in jail for a really, really, really long time. And I think he will be. I don't think he's going to be released, because he's had victims in the millions. And you know it. His channel was so big that he's had just a ton of victims, and I don't think he's going to even be eligible for parole. If they give him a light sentence, I'm going to be really ticked. And I'm sure a lot of other people will too. But I don't think they're going to. There's too much video evidence, for one thing. And he was publishing these pictures on YouTube. What the heck? I just don't get it. Oh, well, we have lobsters, we have apes. So my other resin piece was the dragon here, and there's a channel called Rachel's Rocks in Canada, where she had given me the idea to try the resin first. So shout out to her. She does some gorgeous work too. Her rocks are amazing. Get Rachel's rocks off. This is not a child-friendly stream. Okay, there's going to be innuendo here. Sorry, it happens. That is my high school art teacher's wolf sculpture. He is done with styrofoam and with plaster, and yeah, I think she just used styrofoam and plaster with him, and some paper mache, she said. So he actually is fairly light. He's just super awkward. She painted him over top with acrylics and stuff, so everything is a wolf. He's got wolves coming out of his eyes, painted on the ears, the tongue, everything has got a wolf on it. And the sides, the hair on the sides coming out, those are wolf's heads. So yeah, it's very, very primitive. I absolutely love it. This hung in our high school art room for years. I had the woman for 8 years. If you look her up, it's Lori Swedberg. She's in California now. She has her art business there. She used to run the Wolf House in Minnesota. And I had her for such a long time. Yeah, exactly. Tezcatlipoca's hubby, everybody. And no, he will not let me hang that in the bedroom, but that's okay. It's going to be hanging in my art room. We just have to figure out how to stabilize it. it may be still sitting on a desk like it is now and stabilized that way, because I don't want it to fall down and, break apart. The other piece there, the canvas next to it, that one is her. Yeah, it does. She did a Venus figure, actually was a portrait of herself as Venus, and it's all done with wallpaper and paper doilies. So I glued it to a canvas board, and that'll let me zoom in. There we go. Uh, Glued it to a canvas board. I'm doing rocks along the upper edge and jewelry pieces. I Mod Podged the whole thing to coat it because some of the wallpaper was coming off. And that one's going to be hanging above my altar, just because I really love that piece. It is, I think that's one of her best pieces. And so when she moved out of Minnesota, I got to get several of her art pieces, and some of them I bought, other ones she gave to me because, yeah, that is my fault because I haven't had the money to get the thing scanned and then sent off. I was hoping this paycheck I was going to be able to do it, and I don't have enough to cover bills and rent right now because I had missed some days of work, and so my paycheck was really small. So I'm talking to my landlord, and hopefully, if I can delay it, then I'm going to be able to scan that in and get it sent to Digital Hammurabi. But yeah, the Dragon of Marduk is still sitting there, and it's been one thing after the other all year not being able to get it scanned and sent off. The scanning is probably going to be about, with an extra print and the DPI I want that at, is probably going to be about $150, and then it's probably going to be $50 just to send it. Yes. Oh yeah, and it's like portrait art is not my forte either, Doc Zayas. So it's like every one of us has got our own niche. But yeah, I really want to get that painting sent off, and our goal is to be able to have a print of it as well. We're sending Josh and Megan a copy of the scan, but we're also keeping the scan ourselves. Because I'm going to have it on mugs and stuff like that for sale, and tapestries. No. But also I'm going to send them a print so they can auction off the print for their scholarship project, and then they can keep the original painting themselves. And that was because when I had my surgery and stuff and then lost my job because of the surgery, they had I'd never met them. I never knew who they were or anything. They stepped up, did a live stream to help me out, and were promoting the GoFundMe and everything, and I decided to do a thank you. And Dr. Josh has MS too, which hubby has, which I've talked about before. But yeah, that was a thank you, and they've always had that Dragon of Marduk sitting in the backgrounds on their live streams. So hi Gina. So I had to do that painting, and hubby wants that painting all over the house and the archways and our hallways and everything. He told me I need to paint all the animals off of the Ishtar gate on the walls. It'd be like the poor landlord would come in and go, "Bah, what happened?" Oh, thank you, Gina. Oh, +3 halibut. Thwap, thwap. Yeah, Gina, ignore Tezcat and Grampy. Tezcat is my husband. So they're going to start getting each other with fish. Oh dear. Oh, she blocked you? Oh, wow. Yeah, did you see that YouTube removed some of Michael B. Petty's stuff regarding Amber under the bullying thing? Uh, That's okay. It's going to be after Christmas, but I have a surprise for Grampy Lobster, too. Yeah, I think the reaction channels are going to get nailed now, unfortunately, which, sometimes that's kind of fun, but then are they going to define what are they going to define as bullying is my thing. Because, would I get nailed for bullying talking about somebody's diet that they go and they put the video up in the first place and say, well, yeah, I'm drinking pee morning and night or something. It's like, okay, so I'm not allowed to talk about this or what? Yeah, no Illuminati kittens being thrown around. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with your channel, Grampy. You're going to have to just, take clips and do more random clips in there and stuff like that. I mean, lots of vines and stuff, and do small chunks of what the person says and don't put your commentary in there or something. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. Well, the problem is, Gina, is that YouTube does not have to fall under freedom of speech policy. They are not a government platform. They are a private company. And so they can lay down the laws however they want. It's just like Twitch is also very picky on what they specify can and cannot be done on their own platform. And it's not a matter of free speech. Now, where it may hurt YouTube is YouTube scrambling to hang on to money. And reaction channels are a big, big business. So I think that's why over time YouTube had cut down on how much money they were paying out. And now they're getting tighter and tighter rules because they want to be more family friendly and everything. And I don't know where they're going with their advertiser base, because now they can't get advertisers catering to young kids on. So what are their advertisers going to be like? And I honestly wonder if YouTube's hurting. I really do. From the ad gate or whatever it was, from when they first got in trouble. It's just been slowly snowballing. And I think they're going to be suffering in the long run. They are screwing themselves. And they're taking it out on us. And right now I'm just riding the wave. I'm going to be focusing the gaming and art and my own vlogs, And, if YouTube takes it too far where they're crashing bad, I can do Facebook Live, I can do Twitch, and I can move stuff over to BitChute. There's a lot of conspiracy nut stuff on BitChute, but I can just go and move there if I really wanted to. I already have a channel on there, but I don't do a heck of a lot with it. Let's see. Yeah, that's exactly it. Welcome. I love those old Wilkins coffee ads. I don't know where you got them things. They're great. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, is that they're cracking down on all this other stuff in the commentary, but yet they're leaving the mukbang channels up. They're leaving this unhealthy eating channels up, like the raw vegans, and exploiting their own children or other people's children, foster kids up on YouTube. As you know, these channels are making a ton of money, and they're starving themselves, they're starving kids. And then you got the other end of the scale. I mean, Eugenia Cooney's channel's still making a ton of money. So you have the anorexic side. You've got Christina Glows, who's making a ton of money, and she's making money on Instagram as well. And then you've got the other side, like Hungry Fat Chick. You've got Nikocado. You've got Amber. You've got all these people. So we have such a problem with disordered eating on this platform, and YouTube's not doing a thing about it. But if you call somebody out on their disordered eating or talk about it, you're the bully. And it's like, what the heck? I think they're making disordered eating a lot worse because of how they're treating the finances on YouTube. These channels are so big and they're making a killing. People like Amber don't have to work, you know. Oh, fast food reviews, yeah. Oh, and Chantal, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, is people do get really butthurt about it, and you know, but YouTube needs to figure out what they're doing. I honestly think that they need to cut the mukbang channels out. But YouTube makes a lot of money off of it. So, you know, where do you go from there? By the way, mukbang, Bob Ross Positive Energy. Need it tonight. I go slowly with that, though, because it's got sugar in it. So, yeah. Wanted to do a kids meal review channel, review the same meal every time in the toy. Hey, we have LOL. No, that's right. Land O'Lakes, I thought, closed. We actually had Land O'Lakes, LOL. You know, we had our own LOL dairy here. But, yeah, I think Land O'Lakes got bought out or something after, you know, almost 100 years. So that's kind of sad, but yeah. Yeah, we had our own laugh out loud dairy here. So what I'm going to try to do, we're not working on that today. Oh, ouch. Yeah, I figured you knew the details on that one, sweetie. And of course, we'll put the dragon here for the moment. At least until I get some of this straightened up. All right. This rock is resined as well, and this one, I'm going to do the painting on it and then resin over top. And I think I know what I'm going to do with that one. Trying to get a bunch of things done before Christmas. Going to see. Santa. Oh, thank you, Gina. This is pretty much where I decided I wanted to be with my channel. And oops, I can't zoom out. I have them a little close to my rack here. Like I said, there was going to be unintended innuendos on this channel tonight. Santa here was a plaster piece I bought a few years ago at a thrift store in their Christmas section. And he was just plain white plaster. So he's really super heavy. I don't have the tag on here anymore, but I think I paid like $2. And I see, oh no, I thought I had a bunch more white showing up. Yeah, there is a little bit right there. So we're going to kind of fix that. And the couple little spots right here. I had to kind of do a lot of dry brushing in here. But yeah, he is plaster. And this was a mix of like 8 different colors in this with the metallic over top, which I really like. I love the sheen to that bag. It's just fantastic. Yeah, so I'm going to touch up Santa's sack a little bit. Innuendo. Yeah, well, I'm just kind of glad that this wasn't a toilet. I tried to make the chimney look like a, pretty decent, realistic chimney here. So again, there was a bunch of different reds and stuff in there and a couple different grays. So it actually looks like the mortar in there, and so the painting on the bricks is kind of rough and stuff like you would see with a real one. He's fun. I really like him. He's just a lot of fun. The bricks are inspired, I swear. So I want to make sure I got the light in the right spot so I can see without it glaring in my eyes. Yes. I did. I said sack. That's okay. Melissa, you missed it. I was licking Bob Ross. I put the straw into the can, and the stuff ran out the side from the straw. So I was licking the side of the can on camera. That's a caffeine addict. Oh, that's my one vice. Although I did have Kill All the Golfers, kind of this alcoholic tea type thing last night with honey mead in it. And it was really, really good. But oh my gosh, I was just gone. It was bad. And so yeah, I kind of have to make up for it. But yeah, it was just, I'm acting like that right now. And I'm not. Oh, I do too. I enjoy drawing and I enjoy painting and doing all that stuff. So it's just fun. All right, so I need to figure out, I was going to touch up the sack first. I think I'm just going to touch it up with the copper. Yes. Drunken drug addict. Well, I do take medications. Those are technically drugs. And I have to have them. It's not a matter of addicting, though. It's a matter of surviving. But, technically, I was last night. Not really. I'm going to take a little bit of that copper and I'm going to take some of the black and just do some of the low lights on the bag, on Santa's sack. I'm going to get so much trouble. This stream's going to be demonetized. I don't talk like this when I'm face painting at Twin Cities Pagan Pride or anything. I'm a very good girl then. Just not right now. Yeah, some days I'm very, very sad. There's this old gal, Yeah, so I'm going in with a small brush now. Get some of these spots touched up. Not all of them, because I kind of like the look of it a little bit. An 18 and a 19-year-old. I was lucky because, well, 18 and 19. Oh, thank you, Adam. Are they just getting ready to try and move out, or what is the deal? Because I mean, I had to single mom the thing, although I had Tezcat did an awful lot of help. I wouldn't have made it without him helping me. And the kids had were sat there and they're like, well, Mom, when are you and Troy getting married? Oh, sorry, there, I dropped hubby again. When are you getting married? Because he was just always there, so I was pretty lucky that way. He was still there even for a little while. We had broke up because we had a little spat, and he still was there, so, Oh, okay. The big thing is make them do their share of the chores, They have to help around the house. Because that's the big thing. We both, hubby and I both insisted on that with my two. When, even when they were younger. And it sometimes is a bit of a struggle. Especially my daughter's just as stubborn as I am. So she inherited some of the stubbornness, and it's like, yeah, there were times she just didn't want to do anything. And then, of course, if she got the migraines that would pretty much make her bedridden, then there was no getting her to do stuff because, well, we both more than know about that around here. Migraines are nasty, so, but yeah, they both had to do their share of chores and just make sure that the house could keep going, and they knew too if I wasn't feeling too great or anything, they would help out. So I was pretty lucky. They're both very good kids. There, I think we got enough touched up. A little bit more black up here. Oh, there's a spot I missed. It's nice now that it's dry and I can see the spots I missed. Looks like I missed right here, which that's a fold in the fabric, so I'll overlay that with a little copper there. And it looks like I have a teensy bit more. Hard to see at the moment. There. Just trying to do the touch-ups. I love these colors so much. These are so fun. I was going to do more gold with the bag, but this copper color is just so pretty. It just worked out so nice. You know what? I think that is good. Yeah. Yeah, especially nowadays with money and starting jobs and all of that being so hard. If the kids are able to help with the meal prep and cleaning and stuff like that, and that is in place of rent, that can make so much of a difference for you, and then they don't feel like they're struggling as much. Whoops. Well, I'll fix that. There. Just brush that out. Now that would be the main thing. If they're not working full-time, then they need to contribute around the house. And even then, since I'm sure, you're working and stuff too, they still need to contribute around the house even if they are working full-time. But I'm a little more lenient when they're working a lot more hours than full-time hours. It's because I know that experience too. But mine did really, really well with that, and they're taking care of things on their own. They're doing their thing. Just trying to blend some of this back in a little bit, add a little more. There we go. There we go. And since most of it was missed on the underside of the sack, I'm never going to get tired of that. Be able to touch up in here. I can use a little bit more black to get the shadows in. And I may, for a little bit, until I look up at the computer, might miss some of the comments because I'm not reading them as they come through on my phone screen. I do have to stream off the iPhone right now. I may be hosed if a call comes through. I had to be careful with this brush. I can't scrub too much with this brush because it's one of the few small ones I have left that I haven't destroyed. Okay, I actually like that. All right. So now, where do I go next? Oh, there's a little spot there. See, last time when the paint was wet, it was a little harder to see where I had missed. Oh, look at that. I'm wearing some. That always happens. Little in there. Okay. Let's see where my finger was. Can't see where my finger was. Well, that's awesome. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do the black areas. His gloves, they went and gave him bare hands. He's got fingernails. Have a good evening, Grampy. And happy birthday again. I haven't done dream catchers for a while. I need to do some more. I need to make some. Sorry. I had to have another sip of that. All right, Santa. So I think, yeah, I was going to do his rope next. There, I need to figure out what I did with the gold paint. Well, that's just an empty plastic bag. Okay. Don't choke out there. Hubby's laughing and choking. Okay. All right, so I did find I had it right handy. I got Deco Art Metallics. The other one was Liquitex Iridescent Copper. This is like $7-8, maybe $9 at Michael's for this little container. I did get some Deco Art ones, and Rachel Dragonfly sent me this one. Hi, Sadie. For Christmas, and that's the extra sheen blue. I'm not using it on this project, but I can't wait to play with it. And then she sent me some rainbow hemp, and then I got these acrylic markers too, which are just fantastic. I'm having a lot of fun with them. I'm gonna try playing with the acrylic markers on Shrinky Dinks and see how that works. Because even though they say they're water-based, there's some alcohol in there to be able to help it flow through the pen. So I'm hoping it's going to adhere well to the Shrinky Dinks. That'd be fun. Because you take, for doing like jewelry pieces, you'll take the Shrinky Dink and shrink it down after coloring it. And then you put resin over top of it, and it actually preserves the whole design and adds a little dimension to it too. And then you can, if you really want, you can put little extra glitters and things like that into the resin over top of the Shrinky Dink. So I'm planning on playing around with those, and it's an easy project for me to take to work too. So I'm pretty excited about playing with those. was like, oh my gosh, I got a package from Amazon. What's this? It was great. I was so excited. And the hard part was I didn't know what it was at first, so I opened it instead of opening it on camera because I had ordered stuff too for Christmas presents for people. Oh, we were just sitting chatting. I went and we're working on Santa. I got the turtle. The painting is completely done, Sadie. So the turtle is done. It's all sealed in resin. And I am going to do the frame next, which will be with sand and kauri and other shells on here in patterns on the corners. And then that will be ready to go for the Christmas present. Oh, thank you, Gina. Thank you so much, my third super chat ever. Thank you. Cool. I love it. And then, Sadie, I resined one of the previous art stream dragons that I did. So that one came out just, it's so shiny. I love it. So yeah, I've been playing more and more with the resin, and I've got other resin pieces I did, with the spare resin. So like I'm gonna do another one of these and make earrings out of it for myself. I love that turtle painting. It is so cool. It came out so fantastic. I don't even know. I didn't think I was going to be able to do that, and I exceeded my own expectations again. All right, I need a little bit of brown. Brown. Actually, well, that's the heritage brick. I already got black here. Go a little brown. Trying to do just a couple drops at a time so I don't waste a whole bunch of paint. Oh my gosh, Gina, thank you. Holy cow. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Cool. All right, come on, paint. Get out of the tube. Well, out of the little bottle, whatever you want to call it. English. I sometimes can speak it. Oh, and then I got more brown than I wanted. Okay, I got black, got that. I need yellow. Gelb, where are you? Where is my yellow? Boy, I'm organized. Yellow? Yellow. Maybe it's in the bag at my feet. It could be. Well, this yellow will work. Morning Sun, folk art. Ow, I just ran over the back of my foot. Okay. Yeah, YouTube does that, but right now I'm game with anything. Because PayPal takes their portion too, They all do. Take 30? Well, oh yeah, they take 30%. PayPal's just about as much. People don't realize that. I've dealt with PayPal for years, so. Oh, via friends and families free? I've never. Hi, Celeste. Yeah, Celeste, there he is. I got all the resin done. And he came out just fantastic. I'm really thrilled. Yeah, I'll have to look into the friends and family thing. on PayPal then, because that must be fairly new. Well, I've been with PayPal since 2001 or 2, so yeah. Been a long time. All right, so we're gonna head over to the rope here. Oh, thank you, Gina. Oh my gosh, thank you. Let me back away from the camera just a little bit. I'm just putting some, actually I should do a little bit of shading first. Let's get the shading in. I have to go a smaller brush now because I don't want to mess up the areas I already painted. And again, it's a matter of layering. You go with what you do the hardest areas first. And then anything else is right over top. And it'll stand out a lot better. Yeah, Sadie, it's a great career. It's a hard career though. I'm just warning you ahead of time. There's a lot of ups and downs. Some of the ups and downs are actually your management, especially if you're working in hospitals or clinics or something. And then, like I've worked in hospice and stuff like that, and I've lost my share of people over the years, both kids and adults. And sometimes it's harder than others. Home care is a trickier beast all on its own. Every area of nursing has its ups and downs. It is hard, but it's really, really rewarding. I'm glad I did it. And we definitely need more nurses. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We've had vets out at my parents, when we had to have horses put down and stuff, that the vet was even crying, over the years. That's happened many times because a lot of the veterinaries would show horses too, so everybody knows everybody, and it's like, oh my God. Well, I've been in some houses where I've seen stuff that the doctors allowed families to do that was not ethical. And of course, I've had people die, right there. I have successfully revived somebody with CPR, and that is hard on its own. The first time you revive somebody can actually put you into a state of PTSD for a while. They don't talk about it, but it is a real thing for the person that did the CPR. A part of the deal with CPR is you're not actually reviving somebody. You're prolonging their death, is what it is. The reviving comes from if you can get them to the hospital fast enough, and the hospital actually brings them back and stabilizes them. But what you're doing is you're extending their death so that measures can be taken to bring them back. So it is a very hard thing to do. And I've had patients that I've cared for years that I've lost, some because of doctors. I've had some patients that I've lost because of other nurses' mistreatment of them. So I've had experiences. I've seen family mistreatment in home. I've seen it in the hospitals. I've seen it in the nursing homes. Because at some point, your patient's dependent on other people. And so the patient doesn't have as much control, and there is a point where the patient has to give up control. But sometimes the experts they rely on can be wrong. And sometimes the families they rely on can be very, very wrong, especially if there's, with an elderly patient, if there's a financial gain for the families. I've seen that go south too. But you know, I've been a nurse since 1996, and a lot of things have changed over the years. So, you know, I've had a lot of experiences over time. But then I've also done an awful lot of good for people too. And I know there's times where I've made a difference in people's lives, and it's been a good thing. So overall, you know, it's been good. Oh, thank you, Gina. Yeah, I'm trained in it too, but this, like, that first time is such, it's such a stressor, and you don't think about it while you're doing it. You just do it. And all of a sudden it's like afterwards, if you successfully revive that person, then it's a stressor, and it's also a stressor if you're unable to bring them back. You know, so I mean, it's a double-edged sword with CPR. And it's something that they don't talk about. I had my last CPR training with a online website called Pro CPR, and I recommend people take them as for a CPR source. Even if you still have to go in for classroom, I would pay for it and still do the videos, because at the end, the guy who's holding the classes talks about the ups and downs of bringing somebody back and what CPR actually does. And he hit the nail right on the head. Um, yeah, yeah, you just do it and you think about it afterward, you know. Um, the time and money to be a nurse, of course, I made a lot of mistakes with my student loans, so my student loans have tripled in what I owe. So money wise, in my case, not so much. um, but then I had other things happen too, like I had a really ugly divorce, and you know, personal stuff that goes on. My sister has not had those kind of issues. I mean, money, she set herself back. She's a 4-year RN now. She started out working as an LPN. And so she's not in as bad a shape as I am financially with the student loans or anything. And she's making the bucks to you know, compensate for it. So, you know, it all depends. You still have to be able to make the right decisions regarding how your student loans work and your finances, and then it'll be worth it. But you want to make sure you don't give yourself a heck of a lot of expenses at first. Those were mistakes I made, you know. You're going to have the cheap stethoscope for a while. You're going to, you know, buy scrubs at the thrift store and at Walmart, things like that, you know. And sometimes you're lucky enough that you'll work for a company that'll pay for part of your schooling. It doesn't pay much, but at least it pays for your books. And you can also get by with buying previous editions of books. A lot of teachers are pretty lenient in nursing with that. Because a nursing text now is like $120. And it's, you know, can be up to $200 for a text if you're buying brand new. And that's not very cost effective for students. I mean, I sometimes think the companies that produce the texts for colleges are gouging students, but that's me. But yeah, overall I think it's very much worth it. The only hard part is you got to make sure to take care of yourself. It's very easy to get caught up so much in work that your own health tanks, and that's the situation I've done to myself over the years. Oh, I see another spot I missed on Santa's sack here. I never get tired of saying that. But yeah, you end up having such big patient loads and everything that you let your own health go, and you gotta make sure to take care of yourself. Oh yeah, licensed practical nurse. They're in between a CNA and an RN. And so they make more than a CNA, they make less than an RN. LPN cannot do IV medications. Um, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I could foster animals because I'd want to keep them all. But yeah, anyway, CNA is kind of the low end of the totem pole money wise. And it can be very, very hard work. But that was another job I loved, though. I really enjoyed it. And I worked. Now, the nursing homes have changed kind of for the worse for patient care and for CNAs that work there. But, I enjoyed that. And I enjoyed working as a CNA in the hospitals. I was a phlebotomist and EKG tech, and then worked a lot in ICU as a CNA because I floated around the hospital. And I loved that. That was so fun. I mean, yeah, it was a lot of lifting, and you're seeing patients die, you're seeing patients get better, the usual ups and downs with it. But oh my gosh, that was an awesome job. And I was kind of sad when I quit it because I graduated and became an RN. That was the only reason I quit it, because I loved it. I was just thriving on that one. That was one of the best jobs in my life, was working in the hospital as a CNA. Oh, yeah, I don't know how you could do it. Oh, wow. Cool, Celeste. Yeah. I love being an RN and I love what I do, but yeah, being a CNA at the hospital I was working at was one of the best jobs in my life. And I was lucky. I worked at a hospital where they did pay for part of my schooling. And then on top of it, they also had a stipend for my books. And at the time, we had really good health insurance. If I went and got treatment at any of the affiliated hospitals or clinics, I managed to I didn't have any copays, I didn't have anything, they paid for it 100%. They don't do that now. Oh yeah, especially if she's owns the place. Oh my gosh. Because then you're dealing with management and that just makes it all the more worse. Yeah, my best friend worked for an assisted living for a long time. And that's a lot of work. When she was a PCA at assisted living. And then her and I worked dialysis together too. Dialysis is rough. Because you get people who want to just do the same things over and over again, and they really don't care. Okay, now I'm layering brown in here. I'm going to have to layer more black in there. I didn't get into the grooves enough. Get into the groove. Boy, you've got to prove your love to me. Oh, God. Singing Madonna. I was an 80s kid. We had Madonna with her bustiers on over top of her clothes and the lace gloves and, yeah, the Like a Virgin time. Oh, neat. Okay, who said night? Who's leaving me? Gina, you the one going or gone? Okay, night, Gina. Thank you again. Have a nice night. Enjoy sleeping for me. Alrighty. I'm just trying to get... There's so many textures, and it's like trying to get into these textures with the base coats. It's really hard. Yeah, at least she's got your aunt has got yeah, the cone bra. At least your aunt has the only has 3 clients right now. I know money wise it's not really good, but it's a little easier on the care wise. All right. Okay, now I'm going to try to dry brush in some of the browns. Well, not so much dry brush, but at least get the next layer in. Get it into the crevices. Oops, sorry, I keep bumping the phone. There we go. Well, I did find out my mother-in-law really likes this, so hoping it's going to be a good Christmas present. Well, I mean, it's a little easier than if she had like 10 patients. I was planning on live streaming Saturday night. I might be able to Sunday evening about this time would be good for Skype. And then we can just, we don't have to type back and forth, then we can just sit there and talk to each other. I think the boxes are going to be just fun. A good after Christmas craft starter, Figure out the rules of our little thing and how we do it on, involving YouTube and stuff like that. I think that'll be lots of fun. I can't wait. Oh, I have a kitten outside the door. I just got meow meow. Oops, that needs a little black right there. I gotta get those deep shadows in there. There we go. And some of this, like on his pants, looks like under the light ends up looking like I missed a bunch of spot with paint, but that's the light. It's part of why I like these paints, because it just looks so glossy on him. Just a lot of fun. Checking the chat. Hi, Blue. Oh, yeah, I talked about that earlier. Aga in America, her kid, the little one, definitely looks like he's got under starvation, but hard to tell. She hasn't talked about if he has any medical problems either. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm still fairly new with resin too, so like my little pieces. Yeah, I talked about that earlier with Aga. It's, some people have tried, I guess, calling CPS and stuff, and I don't know, because we don't know enough of what's going on behind the scenes to say for sure. I mean, she's feeding the kids, and that's what CPS is going to look at, is they are getting food. The only problem is they're not getting the right kind of food. And yeah, she needs to have nutrition classes, but you're dealing with a religious diet at this point. And so there's a whole bunch of legalities, it's like, where do you draw the line? And so I don't know if people calling CPS on her is actually the right thing to do. I think that needs to be if somebody local sees what's going on. But if the child has other medical issues, then she, I don't know. I've only seen the pictures of her child, and I've seen where she's reacted, like, filing claims that people are bullying her and stuff. It's just, we don't know, because we're only seeing what's on camera, and her kids look terrible. They really do. But they're clean, they're dressed, they're eating, and I'm sure that's what CPS would look like at, is like, well, yeah, they're eating food, and depending on what state she's in, as I said earlier, like in Kentucky, CPS is so poorly funded that they will just return kids to their parents, whether it's the right decision or not, because they can't do anything else. And Blue and I kind of know a case like that. But yeah, it's just with Aga, it's really, really hard to tell. It's like, what do you do? I think I'm going to go to a bigger brush. I don't want to go to too big of a brush, though, because I don't want this to go everywhere. Well, the thing is, like I said, it depends on the funding. And a lot of them will see, okay, they have a roof over their head, they're eating food, okay, and they're bathed and their clothes are clean. Um, and they'll go, okay, and are the kids going to school? Are they being homeschooled? Are they under the homeschool registry? Oh, they are. Okay, well, yeah, bye. And that could very well be the case. It varies state by state, and the funding varies state by state. There really isn't anything for federal funding, and some of the states have lower standards than other ones. So, you're kind of stuck there. And then if the child has medical issues that Aga's not talking about, that's showing up as far as their stomach. I mean, do we know, does this kid have a G-tube in place? And so they're eating what they can and then they get G-tube feedings? Because I've seen kids with G-tubes that their bellies are that distended and their legs are that weak. Now, I've had heart transplant kids that are in a heck of a lot better shape. But, we just don't know. And to go and just automatically make calls when we're somebody who's not right there, or we haven't seen actual physical abuse happening, they haven't shown them punching the kids or something like that on camera, CPS might not do anything at all. And there's varying levels of abuse. I know of a case where CPS turned around and said where a man was shaving his daughter's legs, and she was just in her panties in the bathroom, and they said, while it's creepy, it's not against the law. And that one is a case I know. So, got told that over the phone. So, it's a really touchy situation and a touchy subject. And a lot of times they won't do anything. Or they'll go overboard and they will take the children, and the children end up in an abusive foster home, which is also well known. There's a lot of people who go into fostering just to make the money. And kids get treated absolutely horrifying. And it's like, okay, were they better off in their own home? And what do you do? And especially in the states that they have poorer funding, that's going to be a really big thing. Yeah. And it not only depends state by state, but it also can vary by county within the state. Let's get some of that gold off of there. I had a little too much. Yeah, what one will turn around and say is abuse or say is a bad situation in one county will be considered just fine in another within the same state. So if we physically see actual stuff going on is one thing, but just a video clip on YouTube is really hard to determine. And you may not get the response you're hoping for. I'm going to have to pop back in here with a little low lights, I think. But yeah, Aga's little boy looks just absolutely rough. Oh, Vegan Gains is going absolutely insane. He's like having a "you broke up with me for no reason" type, or you were sleeping with somebody else type reaction to John Venus eating eggs. I mean, it is just absolutely insane. He is really butthurt. Yeah, Botox can be effective for migraines. Some people, that's the only thing that works. Okay, guys, I was just going to try to paint on my phone. That would not have worked out very well. That would not have gone well at all. Let's get a little bit of brown in here again. I kind of just overshot some of these, but I didn't want it to be so dark. There. Daith piercings? I don't know what those are. Yeah, Vegan Gains needs some serious therapy. Oh my gosh. That guy is... Wow, he is really something. I don't think his medications are working so well for him. Oh, holy cow. Yeah, he acts like it's a jilted lover. It's like, dude, just go have a smoke or something, you know, just holy smokes. Well, Vegan Gains also went crazy one time because he was supposed to talk at some vegan convention or something, and one of the organizers, they had him speak the one day, and somebody brought up Vegan Gains' channel. So one of the organizers looked him up, saw his video where he was holding the knife to his throat, which he uses as a thumbnail, and saw how nasty he is towards people, and they said they didn't want him speaking the next day. And Vegan Gains went off on how it was a big conspiracy theory and everything else. He just went absolutely nuts. And it's like, dude, they wanted somebody to represent veganism in a good light. You are not it, you know, and he just doesn't get it. He is so psychotic. And then his stuff about how he hates children and stuff, they don't want that, you know, him being a keynote speaker. Not like that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't even know who Isaac Buttermore is. I'm going to have to look that up tonight. Well, then there was this one woman, this psychiatrist who is vegan, and she had a debate with Bart Kay, and Bart wiped the floor with her because, for one thing, she had absolutely no expertise in science. She had no idea how scientific studies or anything else are conducted, but yet she's quoting all these studies and everything, and she's a psychiatrist. And Bart K cleaned the floor with her. And so she went on to Vegan Gains channel right away and was kind of whining about it, how Bart was being absolutely mean to her, and he was not fair to her and not letting her speak. She wouldn't shut up. That coming from somebody who does not shut up. But she was just so bad on there. And I'm not a fan of Bart K's either.